I'm not a prophet, but sometimes I have prophetic dreams.
Hello, my lovely Pawans. Welcome. This is your message on how do they perceive you since you severed ties with them? How do they perceive you ever since you severed ties with them? How do they perceive you? We have the Rider-Waite. First one is Ace of Wands, Five of Cups, Six of Wands. How do they perceive you? They perceive you as a person who, when you say you're going to do something, you do it. No matter how heartbreaking to others it may be, even to yourself, Pile One, no matter how you may be perceived, no matter if you're going to leave others disappointed in your actions, you don't necessarily care that much. You just do what is right and what you want to do, what is right to you and for you. They perceive you as someone who is creative and takes initiative in their creative endeavors. They perceive you as a person who can be a little bit hard on themselves with their accomplishments. They feel as though, Pile One, you've accomplished so much, but you don't pat yourself in the back. It's like it's never enough. They perceive you as someone who will do anything to conquer. Pile One is someone who you shouldn't stand in front of their way, because they will do what needs to be done in order to be at the place that they desire or get what they desire. They perceive you as a person who is quick and blunt with what needs to be said and what needs to be done. You could be a person who also bypasses a lot of things. Like, if they perceive you as a person who, if you feel like there's someone or something standing in your way, you're very quick to remove it so you can go around it. You're quick to bypass it. You're quick to navigate around disappointment, navigate around betrayal. Oh, they perceive you as someone who you can hurt them, but you can't bring them down. Like forever? Never. Not Pile One. They perceive you as someone who you fall one, but you get up 10. Fall 9 times, get up 10. They perceive you as a triumphant king, queen. They perceive you as a leader, for sure. They perceive you as a leader, very leader qualities. They may not agree with the methods that you use, but they do agree with the fact that you do have leadership qualities within you, Pile Number One. They do perceive you as that. Any more messages? Yeah. They perceive you as resilient as well with the Six of Wands. As a successor, as a success, they believe that you do go get what you want, no matter what stands in your way. They perceive you as a person who has suffered a lot of loss, but still remained true to the journey. Like, no matter how much you could have lost in the past, in the future, in the present, you still keep going forward. You keep moving forward. So they perceive you as that. The people that you've severed ties with, or they've severed ties with you. At this point, I feel like, Pile One, you're the one who severed the ties. They feel like you're also quick. You're quick to cut ties if they don't serve you. You're very quick. As soon as you see that this is not working in my favor, you're going to move and you're going to find people that are going to be on your team, people that are going to understand your vision and your journey. They perceive you as that. How has life been like since they've severed ties with you, since you've severed ties with them? How has life been like? I only have one card, the High Priestess. Their life has been very intuitively opened. It's like they've gained you've taught them, or you've trained their intuition, you've trained their third eye. Their life right now is one of spiritual ascendance that you've taught them. They've learned, ever since cutting ties from you, they've become so much more spiritually aware, spiritually stronger, spiritually in tuned, because of the relationship, because you guys had to sever ties. Because of, you could have been also in these people's lives for a very long time. Could be family members, in a very long time. And so through these years of them knowing you, they've learned how to trust their intuition more, because they've seen you work with damn near the impossible. They've seen you do the impossible. They've seen you believe in yourself before. They've seen you be lost and find yourself again. They've seen you struggle and survive still. You know, they've seen you be so triumphant in so many situations that it's like, if pile one can do it, so can I. So they'd like to admit that their life right now is one of spiritual ascension. They've definitely changed. They'd like to admit that ever since they've severed ties with you, life has changed so much. You've made such a great impact spiritually on them. In their life, you've impacted their spiritual journey, either by starting it or by being a catalyst of change. They could have been religious, now they're spiritual, or they went from being spiritual to being drawn to a specific religion, because of you, Pawan, because of severing ties with you. It's like, what I'm hearing is, I believe in God now. I believe in God. I believe in the universe. I believe in speaking things into existence, because Pawan, when I had ties with them and I still could communicate with them and I still could reach out to them, I'm getting, these are people who you've severed ties with, they've severed ties with you, and you guys are not in communication anymore. They feel like with the 5 of Cups, they have to cross this river over to come to you so that they can deliver some news to you, but also you would still be disappointed in them reaching out. That's how they feel. They feel like you would see a message from them and you just go, ugh. So they feel, though, if they're gonna talk to you or if they're gonna make an impression on you, they have to be very much spiritually strong and inclined and well learned, you know. They feel as though they're gonna have to be talking sense when they're talking to you. They have to bring up some facts when they're talking to you, some experience, you know. They feel, ooh, with this high priestess, you won't see it because I'm gonna have it covered. With this high priestess, she has her eyes closed. Her physical eyes are closed, but you'll actually see in the picture that I'm gonna post, she closed her eyelids, but you can still see her eyes in the picture. So she's asleep, but she's awake. Yeah, they'd like to admit that now they're awake. They'd like to admit that you woke them up. Their life, well, this is not what they'd like to admit, is that it's just that their life currently without you in it is them having woken up, is them having so many realizations, so many moments of shadow work, so many moments of going back and going, did I really betray part one like that? Why did I do that to part one? They are so triumphant. They went through so many loss and pains, and they hide it so well, but I still chose to be a rock in the rocky road. I still chose to be weird to them. I still treated them very weirdly. Their life without you is full of, I wouldn't say regret, but they realize the part that they played in your life and in not supporting you and in adding to the 5 of Cups of your life, into your loss, into your disappointments, into your frustrations, into your own mourning and moment of period of grief, you know. They feel like they added to that, but they still see you being resilient. So they're like, damn, I need to wake up. How does Pawan do this? How does Pawan still remain so triumphant? Where do they still get this courage? I think I broke their heart. I should have broke their heart the last time. Did me wanting some space or disappointing them, or I strongly get this is also a family situation. So like an aunt and uncle, a mother, father, where, and the reason I get family situation is the Ace of Swords that goes to the Ace of Wands that goes to the Six of Wands. It's like you were given something. There is a wand that was passed down to you of your birthright, that it left everybody so disappointed. It left everybody feeling like, oh, why did Pawan have to get that wand? Why is Pawan the one who gets to inherit this? And then they go through a period of disappointing you, of backstabbing you, of hurting you, of making you feel like you're not worthy, of making you feel like you ain't shit, you don't deserve to inherit this, you're not part of the royalty, you're not deserving of, you're not worthy of. And then in the end, it's like Pawan is like, no man, I need to wake up, I need to realize my worth, I need to be the king that I was bestowed, the king that was bestowed upon. I need to wake up and be what my ancestors wanted me to be, and be what God created me to be, without feeling like I ain't shit, and without feeling like I'm not worthy of this, because I am. Just because my family's like, they've been training this guy to be king for so many years, and here I come and I've never been trained or nothing, and apparently what, I'm supposed to be king. And so you go through a period where you're like, no, I'm not worthy, I've seen that guy train all my life, how is it fair for me if I want to come take their spot? But then it's like God was like, no, this is your journey, this is your life, and part of that journey is you experiencing your own family break your heart, your own family not believing you, your own friends not believing you, your own friends making you feel like you're dreaming too big, or you're being too much, or you are doubting everything a little bit too much. So in return, now that you're not in their life, they can finally accept and realize and see things for what they truly are, that you are the rightful king. And now they'd like to admit that without you in their life, with the high priestess, is that everything has been put into perspective. They would also like to say that ever since you severed ties with them, their life has made so much sense. They see where they also betrayed you. They see the wrongdoing, the part that they played in the contribution that they made into your life, and you becoming, and you getting to a point of cutting ties and severing ties with them. They see it. They're in a point in their life where they're like, no, I understand why Pawan had to cut me off. I wasn't shit, especially for them. So I get it. But I'm different now. I've grown now. Maybe I do have some aspects of my shadow trying to creeple in, trying to seep in, but I swear I'm changed and I'm different. Finally, what would they like to confess to you? I cannot listen to your voice. It affects my soul. I feel unbalanced and uneasy. I don't know what to do to fix it. And then the third card fell, which I'm about to pick up. It says, I know what I'm doing. I play dumb to keep you confused. It actually fell in reverse. So it's, I don't know what I'm doing, and I play smart to keep you thinking that I play dumb to keep you confused, so I play smart to keep you on the loop. I cannot listen to your voice, it affects my soul. They'd like to confess that every time they hear your name, or somebody says your name or mentions your name, it affects their soul. It does something to their heart, like their heart skips, jumps. It's almost as if every time your name is mentioned, it is connected to a heartstring of theirs, that like a tug of guilt in their heart. So they quickly are like, let me not talk about this person. Let's not talk. Let's change the topic. Okay. And I get that a lot of people that are in their life are also in your life, but somewhat they are friends with you, they're acquaintances with you, but they're very close friends with them. So every time they mention you on time, oh no, I saw Pawan on TikTok while I was scrolling, and they're like, ugh, can we change the topic? Can we change the topic? You know, because they feel unbalanced, they feel uneasy, they don't know what to do to fix it. That's the next card that they'd like to confess, that they feel unbalanced and uneasy. They don't know what to do to fix it. Personally, I feel like they do know what to fix it. They just want you to be the one who fixes it, pile one. They, with the High Priestess in as a card of how is life ever since you left, it's like they want you to be their magician. They want you to be their teacher, to be their guidance. They'd like to admit that they'd like to confess that they would like to call you and ask you so many questions about spirituality that only you could answer, and they know that only you have the perfect answers or the right answers, who won't bullshit them, but then they can't because they fucked up so much. They fucked up this relationship that y'all had so much. And I get that you gave them chance after chance after chance. This could have been a family member or a very close friend of yours that you thought you were going to do this life thing with, and you guys were going to be friends for a very long time, and then Pawan just decided to sever ties just to see how are things gonna be. You were suffering so much disappointment, Pawan. You got to a point where you're like, no, let me sever all ties with everybody, whether good or bad for me. And if they're good, they will come back. If they're bad, they'll stay exactly where they need to be. And so they're part of the people that stayed behind, right? That were like, ugh, I'm not gonna talk to Pawan too. So yeah. Oh, with the, I know what I'm doing. I play dumb to keep you confused in reverse. It's like I'm getting someone who spiritually they don't know what they're doing. It's like someone who's cosplaying. They could be like a fake Christian, a fake spiritualist, or a fake Muslim, or fake anything. It's like it's almost like that Brittany Renner situation where she turned Muslim for Kevin Gates. And then there's so many people being religious, Christian specifically, and then you come to find out there's Christian mean girls and etc etc etc. So it's like it's one of those moments for this person where they are spiritually inclined, right, but they make the wrong choices, and they know that all they have to do is talk to you or call you. They wish they could call you or talk to you or seek out to you for some guidance. So yeah, with that Ace of Wands, seek out to you for some guidance, but they can't because you've severed ties. And they are the ones who are stopping themselves from reaching out to you because they can't bear the thoughts of the things that they've put you through. They also may, the High Priestess, is that they may also be having dreams about you, seeing you in their dreams, and that you have encouraged a lot of self-introspection for them. You have encouraged a lot of self-introspection. I was struggling with saying that word. Yeah. Or maybe if they are trying to make contact with you, it's going to be very minimal. It's almost like they're going to just follow you on, for example, you sympathize with them and you remove them from all of your social media platforms, and then next thing you find this one account that's following you again a year later or 6 months later, but a couple of months later, and then you find out, oh, it's my former friend, or oh, it's my aunt. Why? Or it's my uncle, it's my mom, it's my dad. Why? The same one that I sympathize with, why? Because they just want to keep up with you, and they're so ashamed. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to start the conversation. The best thing that they could do is them follow you, and they know that you saw them, so they're like, oh, I'm waiting on Pawan to say something. But truth of the matter is, Pawan doesn't give a fuck. Pawan is on to the next thing with the Six of Wands. So that's it for you, Pawan. I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye. Hello, welcome to my pile number 2s. Welcome to pile number 2. So let's get right into it. How do those that you've severed ties with perceive you. They perceive you as the star, the 10 of wands, and the king of pentacles. Immediately what I'm getting is they perceive you as a person who knows that they're about to break. They're about to hit their big one. They're about to do their big one. They perceive you as a person who knows that they're on the verge of success and they're about to hit the biggest milestone of their success, something that's going to set them up for the rest of their lives. They perceive you as someone who knows that they are a star. They know that you are a star in the making. They perceive you as a person who you know that you're a star in the making. You know that you are different. You know that you are one in a million. You are a star. They perceive you as a person who knows that they're about to make or reach some sort of success. Especially with the 10 of wands here, it's like one more wand and I'm free. There's no card such as the 11 of wands, but after that it's then the king of night, not the king of knights, the knight of wands. And that is very swift energy, very let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Usually this is someone who, if it was a love reading, Knight of Pentacles is referred to as a hoe. Mr. Steal your girl. Mrs. Steal your man. That's Knight of Wands energy. But I say this to say that after the 10 of Wands, it's most the Knight of, is it the page actually? The Page of Wands? Yeah, it's a page, not the Knight. I'm sorry, but someone needed to hear that message. That it's exactly that quick. It's like your success is specifically in your career is about to go so fast, as if you skipped a stage. You went from a page to a knight. You didn't even go to page. You went straight from the 10 of wands to the Knight of Wands, and it will be that quick, that fast, that like a star shooting out of the sky. They perceive you as that. They perceive you as a person who knows that you're on the rise to stardom. So you carry yourself as though you're a brand already. They perceive you as a person who knows their worth. Like you know that you are a star. You know that you're about to be well known. You're about to take off. So you treat yourself as though you treat those around you as so. Everything is an investment for you. Especially the relationships that you keep around you with the King of Pentacles. They perceive you as a person who is very, very grounded in who they are. Even though you know that you're a star, it's like you're perceived as a person who still goes around and sticks with their with their friends, with those that they came up with. They perceive you as a person who's very, very serious, not to be taken for a joke. With the King of Pentacles, you mean business. They perceive you as a person who means business. Especially with the 10 of Wands, it's like you put up these wands in order to work on something behind the scenes. You'd rather be at home working on certain projects and tweaking them, perfecting them, making sure they're good enough, rather than being outside. You know, when you are outside, you are, it's like you everybody's looking at you. Everybody wants to know what you're wearing, what perfume you're wearing, what cologne you're wearing, what shoe you're wearing. Everybody wants to know, what are you doing? Who are you? Who is it? Who is it? It's B. That Beyonce, when Beyonce starts singing on Get My Body, won't you get my body? Get my body. With the star so naked here. Yeah, they like to admit that they perceive you as a person who's like the Beyonce. You're very much the Beyonce of whatever it is that you do. You may not even be in music or entertainment. You could be straight up a lawyer, accountant, doctor, construction worker, anything. You could be even in tarot, and you still are perceived as the Beyonce of all tarot readers, or the Beyonce of whatever it is that you do. You're perceived as the Beyonce of the friend group, the family, the workplace. Yeah. They perceive you as though ever since they've severed ties with you, they perceive you as a person who you've made the effort to build boundaries, but there are people who are still making the extra effort to keep up with you. So they don't know if you know that. Those that you've severed ties with. They perceive you as a person who's very great with money management, with your finances. They perceive you as a person who you can go to and run towards for financial decisions. Whether that is buying a car, buying a house, taking trips outside of the country. Like, you're the one person that if they were still friends with you, if ties weren't severed, they would still be running back to you and asking you so much about those things. They feel like you're very highly informed. They perceive you as someone who, ever since they've cut ties with, that you're highly informed. With the King of Pentacles, they presume that you have somebody telling you all these informations. It's like you have ties where important ties. You have you network. They perceive you as a person who, if you're not going to be of value to pile number two, they will cut you off. They will sever those ties with you. They perceive you, ever since you've severed ties with them, they perceive you as hard to reach as well. You've made it more difficult for them to reach out to you with the Ten of Wands. But also somehow it's like, you are being stalked. Like, it's like, Pawan, you're being perceived as a person who's like, oh no, I stopped talking to those people, but I know they were going to my social media to keep checking on me and keep updated with my life and what I have got going on. I don't care. And so you continue networking, you continue making meaningful connections, positive connections, enriching connections. They feel like you're perceived as a person who is only taking into account or considering. I'm sorry for the baby that's crying. I come back. They perceive you as a person, ever since you severed ties with them, they perceive you as a person who is not afraid to talk about their dirty past, or talk about their traumas, or talk about their issues, talk about what scared them in this lifetime. They perceive you as though you're not afraid to do so. You're not afraid to get not naked, transparent. Yeah, you're not afraid to become transparent or vulnerable. Yes, those are the two words. You're not afraid to be transparent and vulnerable. However, you still have the Ten of Wands where you're putting up a shield. Nonetheless, even though behind the shield you may be naked, I'm getting a person who has, like, you have a house, and your house you like to walk around naked, but that's because that's your house and you feel safe inside the house. It's not like you would open the door and walk outside and be naked. But then if it is hot, you can open the door and wear a very loose fitted dress, summer dress, and you can walk outside. And so in certain angles people can see some parts of your body if they're staring a little bit too hard, but that has nothing to do with you. It's a matter of you not being afraid to show yourself or be seen, That's how you're being perceived. Their life after cutting ties with you, after you've severed ties with them. Oh yes, this is the pile where I was picking up. They were the ones who cut ties with you. It was their choice to stop talking to you, to stop being friends with you, to cut you out, pile one. I said pile one, I'm sorry. Maybe you might have a little bit of messages in pile one. Excuse me. Confirmation burp. I didn't mean to do that. Maybe you do have a few messages in pile one, but pile two, as I was saying, I was strongly getting for this pile while I was shuffling, even that you are the pile that people chose to cut off. They chose to cut you off, and now their life is without you is the death card. But with this, from this tarot deck, the Light Seers Tarot, the death card has death, infinity sign, rebirth. So their life without you has undergone a tremendous amount of rebirth. They have become a different person. They would also say that life without you first came crumbling down, only for them to build it up again. They would like to say that life without you had them really thinking about what is important. What is it that I want in a friend? What is it that I want in a partner? What is it that I want in a cousin, a sister, a mother, a daughter? What is it that I want? How do I, if I were ever to rebuild or reconnect with Pal 2, what is it that would I be, what is it that I would be wanting from them? And is that what I want selfish of me? Is it coming from a bad place? What is my intention? Their life without you has went to shambles, but now they're in a phase of rebuilding. And I feel like for some of you, they would rather rebuild without you so that they can say later on that I did all of this without you, pal, too. You could have been someone who, you're very helpful. You are the star. You're very helpful in as I said, you're not afraid to get naked, to get vulnerable, to get transparent with people. So these are people who cut you off when they knew who you truly are. They knew what made you afraid, what made you cry, what broke you. They knew all of these things and they still chose to cut you off. They could have also cut you off without even communicating with you, you know? For sure, with the Ten of Wands, there was probably no communication whatsoever, and they just decided to block you out of nowhere. And then Pal 2 is waking up and is like, oh, I've been blocked. Okay, and then I will keep it pushing. We have to keep moving. I mean, I'm going to call them and see what did I do. But if they also aren't able to answer the call, then what can I do? You know? They feel as though because you're a star, it's like you walk with the light and they walk with darkness. But then also they're being born again. So now they could be saved by the light. But now they also want to be able to say that I'm born again and I went through this journey by myself without Pile 2, even though Pile 2 probably would have encouraged me, would have held my hand, would have taught me, would have been there for me, would have in any way that they can, even if it's just by being quiet. Pile 2's presence would have probably been so healing for me, but I choose to heal without Pile 2 because I have something to prove to myself about Pile 2, that I can do this thing without Pile 2. I can be a better person without Pile 2. I can be a better this, that, and that without Pile 2. Honestly, I'm being brought to like they're doing all of this so that they can feel equal when they're sitting next to you, or when they see you, when they're walking with you, or when they're your friend again, or when they do all of this. But with pal number 2, I'm feeling be my friend again. They won't. I'm not gonna allow them to come back into my life. Fuck this is. With the death and rebirth, it's almost as though even them leaving your life, it was so sudden, like someone dying. And you mourned them, pal, too. That's the part where you mourned them, where you held space for them, and you were pouring into them with the cups from the star. One is taking from the pond, out of the pond, into the pond, out of the pond. It's like these people that chose to break ties with you, sever ties with you, they broke you. They broke your heart. They broke your heart. They broke what friendship means for you. They broke what family means for you. They broke all of these things. And as you had to rebuild, they also had to rebuild. except you're on the other end. Whereas when someone dies, the normal procedure is we mourn, we hold a funeral, and then we mourn. There's the whole mourning phase, and that can last for however many years, months, days, and they can mourn in any, people mourn differently out there, grieving. So yeah, they feel as though they want to go through all these phases and then come up to you so that they can feel as though they're equal to you. But also with pile number 2, it just gives, you are going through death, I'm also going through a death, but we both handled it differently. And I'm at a point where I realize that I'm a star without you guys. I'm a star without all these connections. I'm a star well within my right, by myself, behind closed doors. And so that is the only thing that pile 2 needs in order to push them out there. And you're on the verge of success, true success. I'm talking money success, financial abundance, pile 2. So last message in terms of these cards that are here, so I can go to flip the other cards, is that whatever you're working on right now, pile 1, I keep saying pile 1, whatever you're working on, pile 2, is going to make you into a star, and it's going to lead to a lot of success, financial freedom, financial abundance. And when they see you riding around in your financial abundance and financial freedom, your Range Rover, aka your G-Wagon, aka which has been discontinued, but anyway, for example, they see you riding in all these things, they want to be able to say, no, I know pile 2, and actually have your response be positive, because they know right now you guys are in a phase where they could say, I know pal too, and you could say, not anymore, or you could act like you don't know them. So they in a phase of their lives where they're rebirthing and rebuilding themselves in order to say, no, I know pal 1. Flip, I keep saying pal 1, please go watch pal 1. No, I know pal 2. I know pal 2. They were my friend when we were growing up. We were friends in universities. We were cousins. Bro, we are cousins. We actually have the same blood running on our arms, in our veins, things like that. We actually family. No, that's actually my daughter. That's actually my sister. That's actually my cousin. No, that's actually my colleague. We used to do this, do that, do that. But then nobody believes them, because it's like, yeah, right. That's the type of success that you're going towards, pal 2. What they'd like to confess to you is, I have lost control of my life. I keep messing up. With the death card. They'd like to confess that they have lost control of their life and they keep messing up. As I said, two people mourn differently. Two people grieve differently. They're going through a death phase that they implemented into your life and into theirs, but you handled it better than they did. You went and leveled up. You went and glowed up. You went and worked on yourself. You went and held the mirror up against yourself. You went and became the star who's able to be naked and be vulnerable with themselves and point to themselves and ask themselves, where did I go wrong? You, confirmation with that track at the back. Let's give it a moment. Exactly. You went out there and worked on yourself. You went out there and seeked all these opportunities. You went out there and found new hobbies. You went out there and perfected old hobbies. You went out there and made money moves. You were out there going to the bank, making investments, showing up. Hello, pal number 2. Next is, I don't want to be contacted right now. I wish to be left alone. I told you that they don't want to reach out to you right now, where they're still in a place of rebirthing themselves, where they're still picking up their pieces, where it gives you the advantage of laughing at them, which I feel like Paltu would never laugh at someone who is down and out, especially the enemy. I feel like it would be so uncomfortable for you to laugh. You would rather just leave them there. Would it satisfy the ego a little bit that they're doing bad without you? But even that wouldn't last for too long. Literally, you would want to help if you met these people now. They also I have many regrets that keep me from moving forward. They'd like to confess that they have many regrets that keep them from moving forward. As I said, these could be people who are like, all social media platforms, you no longer follow them and they no longer follow you, but then somehow they like send you a text or like follow you again, and you know that it's them, so you're like, ugh, I won't follow back because I know that they're just trying to keep up with me and what I have got going on. Ooh, pile two, you could also went ghost from social media only for you to come back stronger. So you're rebranding, or you went completely ghost and are no longer on social media, which pisses them off, or you just came back so much stronger onto social media. It's like, no, you didn't come back. I feel like you in either one of the two that I just said before, that you decided to take a break from social media so that you can rebrand. You could have even deleted certain social media apps, so Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. You could have deleted those only for you to give yourself the chance to just kokumoya. So that in Xhosa, that means that's in Xhosa Zulu, but it means in English to catch your breath. Kokumoy, catch your breath. You're just giving yourself to catch your breath, to restructure yourself, rebrand yourself, properly package yourself in a way that you feel like, okay, the world is ready to receive me in this way. This is how I want to be perceived by the world. So yeah, you're other in those ways, and so they can see like the restriction from being able to access you. Yeah. I don't want to be contacted right now. I wish to be left alone. They wish to be left alone for now. And they probably wish to be left alone because of the embarrassment and the pain that they caused you from causing the death moment to happen. But also at the same time, it's like you also don't want to be contacted right now. You also wish to be left alone, especially with the 1001s. You're not in a position to have these people try to come back to you. As I said, you'll be you are right now in a position where you are perceiving these people as part of your last life, past life people. Like, you've made the choice and the decision to venture out and transition into a new you, and you can't take those old people with you, and you know that, pal, too. So you're like, no, I don't want to be contacted right now. I wish to be left alone by the people from the past. Leave me alone. Yeah, they'd like to admit that they regret breaking this bond with you. They really do regret breaking this bond with you, and I feel like they only regret it because it has ended up in a death card for them, but a star card for you. Hence why they've lost all control of their life, and they keep making a mess. They keep messing up. They keep making the wrong choice. It feels as though every choice that they make is wrong, and they keep messing up. But really, it's just karma for how they treated someone like Pal 2. Not like you were perfect either, Pal 2. Honestly, but yeah, that's all I have for you, Pal 2. Let me see you in another video. I don't have any additional messages for now. Maybe once I take pictures of these, they'll start coming through. Additional messages for Pal number 2 is that life without you right now is that with the death card is that they're going through an initiation, a spiritual initiation. They're going through an awareness, where their awareness is being birthed again, where they're being initiated new beliefs, cycles of transformation, transition, change, newfound awareness, symbolic death. They could have also, what they in their current life, ever since they cut you off, somebody very meaningful to them passed away in order for them to, no, that person passed away, right? And their passing has caused them to become more aware and to value more of their friendships. And so they're looking at the past and everybody that they took for granted, which is also including you, Pautu, and they're like, damn, any day Pautu can die, or I could die, and still things would have ended like this. And so they don't want to contact you right now, but I feel like in the future they definitely will. Just saying I'm sorry or trying to explain everything. I don't think Palto will be here for that, like here to hear that or even entertain it. They will obviously respond, but I feel like it will be a little bit cold, a little bit detached for sure. So yeah, those are additional messages for pile number 2. Otherwise, signing out, brothers. Hello, my lovely pile 3. Welcome back. Welcome to my channel. Today we're looking at how do those that you've severed ties with perceive you. Ever since you severed ties with them, how do they perceive you? We have actually 4 cards for this pile. We have the nine of swords, 7 of pentacles, 5 of pentacles, 7 of swords, 2 sevens, pile 3. They perceive you as a person who has overthought a lot about the that's funny. They perceive you as a person who thinks a lot about them, those that you've severed ties with. They perceive you as a person who they feel as though pile 3 thinks about them a lot. Yes, pile 3 has severed ties with us, but they think pile 3 thinks about us a lot. Ooh, they feel as though they also perceive you as a person who has thought a lot about cutting them off. Before you did pile 3, whoever you did cut off, whoever you did decide to sever ties with, they feel as though you thought about it. You thought about it long and hard, strategically too. They feel as though you took your time. If, for example, if we were in court, they probably would have said it was, what is it? Not an intentional murder. When you, what is it? Something. Premeditated. Yes. They think you premeditated. They're very sure. They perceive you as a person who was strategically premeditating, cutting off, severing ties with them, pal 3. Pal 3, they scared of you. I'm not gonna lie. Wherever they are, they sitting back going, yeah. Going, yes, pal 3 already did sever ties with us. And you know what's funny? Pal 3 did mention this before. It's almost like pal 3, you gave them chances and you told them that, listen, fuck me over one time, that's okay. Shame on me. Number 2, shame on you. And you won't even get to number 2 because I would have severed ties with you by then. You've gave them chance after chance. They perceive you as a person who, ever since you severed ties with them, you've become more protective and stricter of what it is that you have acquired. First of all, they perceive you as a person who cares a lot more about your career and money over them. They perceive you as a person who is like, if it's between legacy and providing and creating a legacy or providing financial abundance for me and mine, between that and friends and events and grooving or other things, love, relationships, situationships, I'm choosing wealth. They perceive you as that person. They perceive you as a person who is able to decipher very quickly from what to keep out and what to keep in. They perceive you as a person who's able to make the right choices very quickly. If you are running out of time and you need to make a choice, they just know they can count on pile 3 to make the right choice. They perceive you as a person who is a very hard worker, very hard, diligent. Like, they can say whatever they want to say about you, pile 3, but one thing that they are for sure saying about you that is positive is that pile 3 worked hard for what they have, worked hard to become who they are, worked hard to be where they are. They have fought off so many things. They fought with themselves to be where they are. They've fought with family members, friends, colleagues. They will fight anybody, and it may not even be a fight that is very physical or violent. You're very slick. You can mind manipulate. You can use mind manipulation to get what you want, pal 3. They see that. They see that. They'd like to also admit that they perceive you as a person who is so great at manipulating people's minds that you can make them feel lost, that you can make them feel as unworthy. You can make them feel as though they're just a piece of trash on the sidewalk that needs to be picked up by someone who cares about litter and then put it in a bin only to have a dog. Yeah. They perceive you as a mean bitch. I'm not gonna lie. They don't give a fuck about 3. They perceive you as someone who is willing to do any and everything to get to where they want to be, career wise, financially free wise, family wise, even like wealth, legacy. Like you'll do anything to protect your family. I'm like getting Kris Jenner now. You know how Kris Jenner and all the Kardashians have, they always say no one goes against our family. You can attack this, that, but our family, we will fight against each other as family members, but we do not allow outsiders to fight any of our family members. So it's giving that. It's giving you like the whole Kardashian clan in one person. Pile 3. They'd like to admit that you have a lot of financial wisdom. You have a lot of bits to share, very valuable bits to share in terms of assets. They'd like to admit that you've become an asset over the years. They like to admit that you really did think long and hard about severing ties with them with the nine of swords. They'd like to admit that they perceive you as a person who, in as much as you're an overthinker, it works in your favor. Like you overthink to a point where you create realities. Like whatever it is that pile 3 is going to overthink about, just watch it happen, just like pile 3 said. Hence why they also view you as a little bit cold-hearted there with the whole like you premeditated cutting us off, pile 3. You premeditated severing ties with us. You evil. That's how they perceive you. They perceive you as a person who is, as I said, you all the important things, you put them first. So in this 5 of Pentacles, I know they're being left outside of the church. They're walking in the snow. It's only the 2 of them. With that, I'm getting like, you don't mind leaving the situation with just you and your man, you and your husband, you and your children, you and your family that you've created. You don't mind leaving things like that to protect your family, you, your children, and certain friends that have grown into family. They perceive you as a person who will go to war for what is theirs and what they value. They perceive you as a little bit stubborn. Very stubborn, actually. As I said, with the 9 of Swords, they perceive you as a person who overthinks to a point where you can create your own realities, whether good or bad. But then with the 7 of Wands, it's like you then back up that reality. You then back it up by defending it. You back it up with some facts, with the 7 of Pentacles there, with some facts that you gathered throughout the duration of whatever, throughout the duration of that whole relationship, platonic or romantic. It's like also part 1, you're one of those people who you are perceived as, before, as I said, very premeditative. So before you cut or break a relationship up, you gather all the screenshots, all the voice notes, all the calls, missed calls. Hell, you have receipts from the shop that they went to, from the restaurant that they dined in, to the hotel they went to go sleep in so they can cheat on you. You are just, it's giving very much Virgo energy, actually. You are very structured, well planned, well thought out, so that when someone talks to you or tries to have a back and forth with you that is spicy, that is very attacky, that is very ready to get violent. When someone is ready to kind of like, no, I didn't do that, you pull out the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, no, the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. Like, yes, you did say this. Yes, you did do this. And this is how I know. This is how it went by. Ooh, part 3, whoever you sever ties with, they are afraid that they can't get back into your life ever again, because not only did you sever ties with them, you sever ties with them with proof that they cannot deny. So wherever they are overthinking also with the Nine of Swords of, damn, I already broke Pal3's trust. I already broke Pal3's respect. I broke Pal3's love. I broke Pal3's trust. So they keep overthinking that I've done Pal3 so wrong, I can't go back. This person probably still has screenshots, voice notes, conversation, things, this, that, things that I can't ignore for real. And so they perceive you as a person who rightfully did sever ties with them. Ooh, pile 3, you also could have severed ties with them because they perceive you as a person who severed ties with them because they weren't no longer necessary for your growth. With the 5 of Pentacles to 7 of Pentacles, it's like you cut them off because they were holding you back, and now they know it. Now that you've severed ties, now they perceive you as that person that, oh, so pile 3 really did cut me off because they think I was holding them down, or I was keeping them low, I was finishing their energy, or I was being too much for them. And I really was, because look at me. I went from 5 of Pentacles to 7 of Pentacles, and they're perfectly fine. They're doing well. They're able to stand their own ground with the 7 of Wands and fight their own battles, even if it's battles that they created themselves. They perceive you like that, pile 1. Why do I keep saying pile 1? Pile number 3. Life without you, ever since you severed ties with them, is 7 of Swords. As I said, the people that you sever ties with, part 3, they know they can't come back to you. They know that they have no ability, no right to come back to you. They have no foundation to come back to you and try to work on this relationship or try to build something for this relationship. It's done. And so guess what? In this new life, they went back to their shady ways. They went back to their ugly ass ways. They went back to their creepy ways. They went back to their sneaky ways with the 7 of Wands, where they do things in the dark. They went back to being deceptive, betraying. Yeah. Right now in their life, they are taking only what's needed. They are takers right now in their life. Without you, they've managed to be a taker. A taker. All they do is steal, take. Their new life without you is that they get away with something more now that you're no longer in their life. They're able to be more strategic. They actually get that from you with the 9 of Swords. When I said you premeditated, they took that from you. One thing they learned from pile 3 is to premeditate on everything. Think about everything carefully. Plan out everything carefully, down to the T. Their life without you right now is filled with them being more grateful for the resources that they have, which I feel like they also took that from you with the 7 of Pentacles. As I said, whoever you sever ties with, Padre, you taught them a lot about premeditating, protecting what's yours, protect the pack, protect those you love, legacy. You be loyal. You don't treat people like that you say you love the way that Pal 3, those that have severed ties with them, those that Pal 3 has severed ties with, you don't treat them like that. You don't treat people like shit, especially if you still want them on your team. You don't let them out in the cold. You don't leave them out in the cold. You don't shut the door in their face. So now they're able to say, damn, I'm so grateful. Yes, I'm doing some shady things, but like Pal 3 really taught me a lot. moving silently and quickly, swiftly. So, pile number 3, their life without you is filled with mystery, is filled with them going back to their old ways, but with a different vision, a different eye on things. You've taught them a lot. Pile 3, when you were in their life, they didn't need to be so sneaky. They didn't need to be so doing things in the dark, being such a taker. They didn't need to, because you taught them how to give. You taught them how to share. You taught them how to be free. You taught them how to do things in the light. Also, do not be afraid of who you are. You taught them to accept that, okay, if I'm going to be a sneaky ass person, then let me do this like this. Let me fully own it. That's what they'd like to say about their life now that you're gone. It's like now they're going back to that life with confidence. They're going back to that life with a new eye on things. Listen, I keep seeing like a vision of a person who, for example, they sold drugs, or they sold drugs in this vision that I'm seeing right now as I'm talking to you. This person used to sell drugs, whatever. Then they fell in love with this person, and for a while they stopped. They didn't stop selling drugs, but they stopped selling drugs to kids, for example. Whereas before they met this person, Paltri in specific, for example, before they met Paltri, they were just selling drugs to anybody. They didn't care. They were ruthless. They were mad. They were angry. They were hurt. And then when they met Paltri, Paltri was like, okay, I found you in this life where you were doing horrible things to other people, right? I will try my best to encourage you to stop. But if all you know is committing crime, then who am I to save you, But they showed you love. They, like Paltri showed them love as much as they could and as much as they could take it. And then after some time, Paltri was like, nah, I'm leaving this nigga. I'm leaving this girl. I'm done with this stuff. I'm done with this life that they keep putting me in, because I keep experiencing the 5 of Pentacles, where I feel so closed off, where I feel so left out, where now I can't go to a restaurant in that hood because they know I'm dating that guy. Next thing, I'm in a car, it's getting shot up. Or every time I have to look over my shoulder, I'm not free. So Paltri had to set themselves free. So you sever ties with this person, Paltri. And so they went back to the life that they used to know, and it's no longer the same. They're seeing it from a different place, where they're like, okay, now I see what Paltri was telling me about. Now I see why it's dangerous. Now I see why this, that, and the other, why this, that, and the other. And so now I'm seeing a person going back to their old ways with a new, fresh perspective and a new lens. And I feel like, Paltri, you had to sever ties with them so that they can get to this point where they're able to realize that, this is not right. This is not a way to live, in order for them to better themselves. But now they're only on the verge of that. They're on the verge of quitting everything for themselves. You had to leave they had to lose you in order to realize that, yes, I might as well lose it all, because I want Paltri. I'd rather be with Paltri. Paltri is who I desire. She's perfect. He's perfect. And even if, you know what, I've put Paltri through so much, even if I don't get to get Paltri again, the next person who I'm going to have, it's because thank you to Paltri. Yeah, Paltri, you could also, for some, very few of you could have been in a very abusive relationship with this person, with this 9 of Swords, I'm thinking, and the 5 of Pentacles. A lot of mental manipulation that you had to set yourself free from. That's why you don't play about those boundaries with the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. You don't play about everything that you've grown, everything that you've been able to create, everything that you've been able to harness. Yeah, you could have been in a very abusive relationship that left you very energetically drained. And you had to think about it before you leave that relationship. You had to be very strategic and think about it strategically. Premeditate before you decide to leave. Especially in an abusive relationship, you don't just walk out the door. They won't let you. I'm sorry for any that had to go through that. Moving on, what would they like to confess to you is that we are living two separate lives for sure. They'd like to confess to you that rejecting you was protecting myself. I was being selfish. They'd also like to confess to you that they feel overwhelmed. They feel as though they are drowning in their own thoughts. They are with the Nine of Swords there. They're thinking, they keep replaying all those emotions, replaying all those scenarios with you in their life when they still had you. And it just gets them overwhelmed. It just gets them thinking. It gets them in a funk. Yeah, we are living two separate lives. As I said, you are on the other side of the light and they are on the other side. Like, they went back to their old life and you went back to a new life that you're willing to protect from anybody and everything. This is definitely giving me very much abusive relationship, toxic relationship that I had to free myself from. And rejecting you was protecting myself. I feel as though you severed ties with them and they tried to say, no, I can do better, I can be better. Or you also severed ties with them and they weren't fighting it because they were like, okay, you know what? Let me reject you to protect myself. Let me reject you. Let me actually let this happen so that I could be by myself. I'm doing all better by myself anyway. So they start feeling sorry for themselves. You know what? Let me not fight for this. Even though you mean so much to me, even though you're an asset to me, let me say, okay, let's break up for real. Let's see. You could have also severed ties with them. They fought for it, and then you were like, okay, let's try it again. And then next they're like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Let's not continue this. I'm rejecting you. I'm cutting ties with you. And you're like, oh, okay. I was breaking up with you initially, but then you said you want to try this again, and I gave you another chance. And so now you're back here telling me you want to break this up. Perfect. The abuser, the toxic one, finally lets go. The narcissist finally lets go of somebody else, of their victim, of their test subject, finally lets them go, and they're free. Pile number 3, you've really went through a lot of scarring emotionally. So I'm very sorry about that, but you are very triumphant. You're very you got this. For as long as you keep up that 7 of Wands energy where you're protecting what is yours and what you've built, you will be going far. With the 7 of Pentacles, you're already there. You went from 5 of Pentacles to 7 of Pentacles. You didn't lose anything, especially if you sever ties with these people. By severing ties with these people, you didn't lose anything. You gained. And with the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles, these people, both of them, they are alone in these pictures, but they have so much around them. In the 7 of Wands, this person is alone, standing on a hill, on the edge of a hill, fighting these other sticks by himself. No army needed. So you did a good thing by severing these ties, pal 3. I'm so proud of you. And you are destined for much more peace, much more financial abundance as well. Yeah. Okay, this is additional messages for pile number 3. What I picked up was that also they could have went back to their ex or person that they dated before you. So when they pursued you, pile number 3. So this person is that I'm getting as a partner, like a romantic partner that you used to be with, that you decided to cut ties with. You could have also premeditated on breaking up with your previous partner, because they could have went back to their ex before you. They could have tried to work things out with them, but they aren't working. That's what I'm being told to tell you, pile number 3. They aren't working. That person is cheating on them, lying to them, or is using them. So whoever you decided to cut out, their person that they with currently, that they left you for, is cheating on them, or is lying to them, or is using them for their money, or for however way that they're deciding to use them. And yeah, in return. So also, they could have started going back to their ex while they were in a relationship with you, but as soon as you found out, you decided to stand your ground and to defend what is yours, and to protect yourself, and to protect everything that you've worked so hard for. This also could have been a person that you were in a relationship with for a very long time, maybe 7 years. You know, those are the numbers that I'm getting from the 7 of Pentacles as well. And they just decided to rekindle things with their ex that they told you not to worry about. Pile number 3, of course. They also, when they started this relationship with you, pile number 3, I feel like there was a lot hidden with the 7 of Swords. As I said, they're going back to their old life. So I feel like there was so much that was being hidden from you, pile number 4. Oh, sorry, pile number 3, I mean. That was hidden from you, and you were like, okay, essentially this person seems like a good person, so you decided, let's get into a relationship. But as soon as you got into a relationship, they changed and became a completely different person, and showed you they and that's my air fryer, and showed you their true colors. And you were like, oh whoa, is this who you are? The ex that you used to tell me that they're crazy, I shouldn't worry about them, now here you going back to them, you're falling in love again with them, you're rekindling things with them. Okay, cool. And I feel like you didn't even put up a fight, pile number 3. You really didn't. You were like, okay, I've been with you also for a very long time, but I didn't get anything in return. I don't see anything growing. In fact, I was in the 5 of Pentacles type of energy, where I was losing a lot, and I was feeling left out in the cold, losing more than I'm gaining. Yeah, they did all of this behind your back. If not a romantic partner, it's a sibling or a cousin who chose their partner over you. Whichever sibling that chose their partner over you, or cousin that chose their partner over you, turns out they chose an abusive partner. So they're in an abusive relationship, and they can't come back to you. They feel like they can't come back to you. They feel ashamed to come back to you. They feel like they've betrayed you too much to even come back and cry to you. You could have also been warning them a lot that, bro, don't go back to this abusive ass nigga, abusive ass woman, toxic ass relationship. Why you keep going back to that person? And I feel like at the end, towards the end, when they decided to choose this abusive partner, they didn't even tell you. You just saw, and their bags were packed and everything was just gone. So yeah, whatever is done behind your back, you know, and eventually find out in your dreams with the 9 of Swords. Also, that's an extra message that I was getting, is that, funny enough, the picture that you chose also is the lady with the knife, looking at herself, looking at her reflection through the knife. And I pick all the pictures before I even read the messages for the piles. And so it's really funny and so nice to see how the cards messages are also reflecting of the image that you chose, pile number 3. So yeah, whatever is done behind your back, you eventually know, you eventually find out. Your ancestors make a way for you to find out. Pile number 3, you are definitely blessed beyond measure and protected by your ancestors. You will always find out the truth. Do not worry. Whatever a person is lying to you about, they're lying to themselves, because pile number 3 is going to find out eventually. So yes, especially whatever they're doing behind your back, you definitely do have dreams about it, and your ancestors try and do their best to show you through and give you warnings through your dreams. Okay, that's it for additional messages for pile number 3. I love you, pile 3. Enjoy your day. Mwah.